On September 24th, 2008, my kids and I were heading out to start our day, almost like we usually do. We were running a little late that day. I was a little upset. We were in traffic. We usually miss the traffic. And we had rolled up to a crosswalk. There was a lot of cars stopped on the other side of the street. We were the second car back, waiting for someone to cross. I could see one, maybe two people, wasn't sure how many. Somebody entered the crosswalk, and a white van came by pretty fast out my driver's side window. They were in the second lane. And before we knew it, it was like surreal. It was a scene from a movie, watching this young man get hit right off of his skateboard. And you almost would have thought he would have went flying, but instead he got sucked under the car, run over by the front wheels. He rolled around a couple times and came to rest face down on the pavement underneath her rear axle. There was immediately panic in my car. My kids were upset and screaming, and my 15-year-old was the calmest. He goes, "Wow, Mom, did that really just happen?" So my first instinct was to get out and help. So I pulled my car to the side of the street, told the kids, "Do not get out of the car." I remember locking my car. I don't know if it was the mother in me or the new EMT in me, but something just took over, and I just took total control that day. As far as not letting anyone touch Russell or get near Russell, getting the car off of him, making sure the woman who hit him didn't leave the scene. The very first thing I did was I called Pinehurst. I was working at Pinehurst, so I called Pinehurst directly and told Hope, the dispatcher, where we were and what had just happened, and to please call Central Dispatch. I knew that would get an ambulance there quicker. I took a hold of Russell's neck. I didn't know Russell at the time. We met on the pavement there that day. Took a hold of his neck and head so he couldn't move. I was worried about a head injury and a back injury after watching what we just saw. And I just started yelling at people. My very first thing was to get that car off him before it sat there too long. And I just kept him talking. That was probably the biggest thing I wanted to do, was keep him talking to me, because I knew shock was going to set in. He wasn't very agitated at first, but he kept trying to get up. He was trying to pull his head out of my hands. He wanted to get up. All he wanted to do was go to school. And I told him several times, 4, maybe 5 times, I said, "Russell, you have to trust me. I'm holding your head still for a reason. I'd love to meet you someday, and I'd love you to walk up to me and hug me. So you have to listen to me right now." The semester before, spring semester of 2008, I was a full-time student out at Napa College, taking classes to get towards my nursing degree, and I decided to throw an EMT class in there. I thought it would be adventurous, kind of exciting. I knew it was going to be a lot of hard work, but having 5 kids of our own, we go camping a lot and like to go off the beaten path. And I thought it would be nice to know, in an emergency with my own family, to know what to do, whether or not I worked as an EMT afterwards or not. So I had just finished that. In July of '08, I got my national registry to become an EMT. And we did so many scenarios daily. We did 5 to 10 scenarios in our class. From a cut finger to a nosebleed to somebody having a heart attack. Our instructor was very adamant, wanted to make sure we all knew what to do no matter what happened. So that morning when I parked my car, before I even got out of the car, Anthony was on my shoulder barking at me like it was a scenario, and I kind of took it like that and just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. So a couple days after, I got a call from his mom, and I went and met Russell in the ICU, which was pretty cool. He was pretty drugged up, but he knew me, and he knew what had happened because he kept harassing me about all the questions that I kept asking him. Why did I just keep asking him so many random, weird questions? So that was pretty neat to get to meet him and see him. He was up, walking around already. You know, on a personal level, it's hard for me to take recognition for something that I would hope anybody would do. Our actions affect everybody around us. That's probably the biggest thing that we've taken away.